How do you ensure that you are successfully mirroring the soul of this evolving city?
You need to be people-centric, customer-centric. Here, the taste changes from every lane. Yeah, maybe Uncle Sam is not very kind to me right now. Let's see what Gandhiji can do for me.
What is in Varanasi which attracts you the most?
People. It's always the people. The recognition is not there. Learn that, how small you are when you travel. Here the studies were more theoretical. In US, it was more practical. All those things that you see in any American movie is not going to happen. You need people who can take the vision forward. Every expense count, even an extra penny would count. So we are doing everything in the food business. Why can't we start with our own bakery? Coming from a Bania family, we definitely can't incur a big cost. The youth is very clear what they want. There is an area in Banaras called the Pakka Mahal, the chalk side, where people actually are understood as the connoisseurs of the mithai industry. As one dish, if you have to say that, okay, Banaras will be represented by this one dish, it has to be, thought of.
Banaras, a city where every ghat tells a story, every aroma evokes nostalgia, and every turn holds a tale of timeless tradition. But what happens when this ancient soul meets a modern mind? When centuries-old recipes find themselves reimagined with the global flair? Welcome to the episode 4 of Banaras with a Twist, only on Vox Populi, the voices of the people. Today, we are stirring the pot, quite literally, with a guest who embodies the perfect recipe of tradition, technology, and tenacity. He is a man who traded Silicon Valley circuits for simmering kadhais, Purdue precision for peda perfection, and New Jersey hustle for the heart of Varanasi. Please welcome the visionary behind one of India's most beloved culinary legacies, partner at Shri Annapurna Foods, Mr. Umang Jhunjhunwala. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So, if you permit, maybe begin with the podcast.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So, we already know about Banaras. Banaras has always been a city of contrast, ancient and ever evolving. From Fiji to Purdue and then finally to Varanasi. How do you ensure that you are successfully mirroring the soul of this evolving city?
In order to make sure that, we are successful and, mirroring the soul of the city is that, you need to be people-centric, customer-centric. And, after 10th, I left Varanasi. So I actually didn't know what the people of Banaras would expect out of me once I joined the business, because the business was already going on. It was in the 10th year. But then me coming on board and then, trying to input my things into the business, the best thing I did was that, I listened to the customers. My dad asked me that, in order to be successful in a business like this, which is very customer centric, you need to be more, people facing first, so that you get to know more about them, more about the city, more about their expectations. And then once you, bring back on the table, think deeply about it, then only you'll be able to do justice to such a, rich and culturally, diverse city like Banaras and their taste palette. Because here the taste changes from every lane. Like one lane will have a particular taste, the other locality will have a particular taste, and there is a different fan following also for everything. So it was challenging for me, but then when we try to come up with something that is, appealing to everyone and found a balance. So yeah.
Indeed, it's just about finding a balance, the
Correct.
perfect mix of tradition, blending with modernity.
Correct.
So, when talking about your journey, coming back from a tech startup in US to the traditional food business in India, and indeed it's not the usual path. So, sir, what was that defining moment when you just said that, yes, I'm finally coming home, I'm finally coming to Varanasi?
To be honest, Uncle Sam was quite harsh that time. 2009 was the time when I think US was going through one of the biggest recession. The Lehman Brothers thing happened that time. the Ford and the other, automobile industry, they were going through a very, very bad phase. So the entire US was going through a bad phase. I was, like a international student trying to find my foot in the, the work circuit over there. It was challenging, though I got lucky. I got an opportunity to work with a startup semiconductor company in New York, but then my heart just couldn't relate to the kind of work I was doing. I realized that this is something that is very monotonous, and I should explore something more challenging. So the opportunity was that come back to Banaras, explore how things are in India. Maybe Uncle Sam is not very kind to me right now. Let's see what Gandhiji can do for me. So that is the time I came, decided to come back to Banaras. But then yes, Shri Annapurna wasn't my initial choice to go to. I was looking for jobs over here. But then again, one thing that really made a difference was that, Umang, can you do a 9 to 5 job on a daily basis? Can you do something, that is expected, same thing every day out of you? Can you do that? But then when the answer came no, I decided that, food is a very evolving business with every day new customers walking in with their new feedback, new expectations, and the food business was growing. I mean, there was so many things happening together. So I felt there's a lot of scope where I could, delve deep and, explore better in that domain. So that is when I took the plunge and I said yes to my father that, okay, I will join hands with you in the business and help you take this thing to the next level.
So indeed, wherever you go, there's just a void which is income. It just fills you up. The fact that you're not no longer in your own state, in your own country, it just fills you up. So, sir, you've always said, and right now, as you mentioned, that your heart was truly deeply rooted to India, or specifically to Varanasi. So, sir, we just wanted to know, what is in Varanasi which attracts you the most?
People. It's always the people.
Okay, as in?
I mean, you go to the best of the city or the best of the places in the world, but if you're not surrounded by your people, you'll always feel that void. So I feel, family and, the way we've been brought up as Indians, we're very connected to our family. So that void was always there. And one more thing that I actually felt that while I was staying in the United States, that no matter how much of money you will earn, no matter what position you're working on, I mean, the recognition is not there. I mean, and the social circle is not there. People are very, very, self-centered. They're very much absorbed in their own day-to-day life. Here, I mean, like, if you walk out of your house, also you'll have your neighbors to, you can just bump and talk to them, to your neighbors. So I think the camaraderie of people over here, the warmth over here is something that was not there in the US. So I think it's always the people. No matter you go to the best of the parties also, but if you're not surrounded by your set of people, I'm sure you feel the void there also. So yeah, it is always the people.
So, sir, overall, how is your experience in the US?
It was very good. I mean, for the education wise, definitely. It was very good. It was quite a big learning curve for me. Culturally, it was quite different for me. Coming from India, I mean, nobody expected, I never expected out of myself that I'll be going to the US for my undergrad because I was aspiring to go to one of the engineering colleges in India. But my mind was very clear that if I have to do engineering, it has to be done from one of the best colleges. So unfortunately, I could not make it to the IITs. So that is when I decided that, okay, if not IIT, then what's the next best thing I could do? And that's where, my counselor suggested that you can apply to the top universities in the US. So, yeah, I mean, that's why US experience was very good. You learn a lot. You also learn that how small you are when you travel in India, and especially in a small city like Banaras. You feel that, okay, I'm from this family and people know me, and I can do that and I can do this. But when you travel, you actually realize that what you are and how you should be like in a more exposed environment. So that ways it was a big learning curve. And then education wise also, I mean, what I've been hearing from my friends when I was in college, that here the studies were more theoretical. In US it was more practical. I mean, like all the courses were more lab oriented as well. So that was there. But then definitely one of the things that I felt that, which we used to see in all the American movies, that, okay, the life is going to be like this in a US college. But depends if you're going for engineering, and if you're going for hardcore engineering, all those things that you see in any American movie is not going to happen. It's going to be as cutthroat as it is in India.
Movies are one thing, and movies are definitely not the
Correct. But
reality.
then
Yeah.
that's deceptive also.
Actually skeptical, and the fact that it actually sets your mind into believing, and it just somehow the other way gets you into believing that yeah, whatever you see is truly true, whatever you hear is really true, but no, it's not. So as we just got to know that on one hand there are challenges, on the other are how do we cope up from it. So sir, from laddus to layer cakes, Shri Annapurna has truly diversified its offerings. So sir, we would just like to know that in this sector, what was the biggest challenge you faced in modernizing a legacy, just blending it with modernity without losing its true soul?
I mean, one of the biggest challenge as business owners is that, and we are not chef. So being a chef, I could have been very hands-on. And since I was not a chef and I was in this food business, the thing is that finding the right people who could actually take the vision forward. I mean, we can definitely train them, but then if their heart is not aligned, if their thought is not aligned with your vision, then it becomes really difficult. Had I been a chef, that I always feel is my shorthand, that had I been a chef, I could have been more hands on with my thing. I would have been more experimental. But then, in order to experiment or try new things, I have to be dependent on my team players. So finding the right team member who could take the vision forward, not only in the back of the kitchen, but also at the front. So no matter how good of a product I develop in the back of the kitchen, but if I don't have a good marketer at the front, at the counter, oh sir, this is the new variety we've made. Would you like to try that? Oh, we've made experimented this, and this is how we brought in two flavors together. Like we do a lot of fusion sweets as well. But then if my counter person is not able to convince you or make you understand that thought that went into making that particular food product or sweets or bakery, I mean, you won't buy it. You'll be like little hesitant in doing that. So, I mean, one of the major challenges that in a tier two city that we feel is that, getting the right team members. So, yeah, that was one of the challenges.
Not truly the chefs.
Yeah, I mean, you need people who can take the vision forward. So, I mean, we've worked a lot on that. We keep on having these team alignment meetings over and over again so that, they are resonating with the thought process of the senior management. So we keep on doing that. Alignment is something that's an ongoing process in Shri Annapurna.
Indeed, sir. It's all about chefs, it's all about how you vision them, and it's all about execution as well.
Correct.
Okay, when talking about chefs, let's talk about flour and beans. Your eggless bakery that has taken the whole city by the storm. So, sir, what inspired its inception? And how do you see Banaras actually warming up to such innovative food concepts? Because there are not a lot of people being really accepting towards it.
I mean, when I joined business in 2010, we were doing everything. We were into restaurants. It was a full-fledged multi-cuisine restaurant, though we started in this industry as a very specialized South Indian restaurant, with just a 20-seater restaurant. Then we diversified into multi-cuisine. We also got into the Indian sweets making. We were doing decent outdoor catering orders also and everything. But then on one of the nights, me and my father, we were just sitting at our home and we were discussing about the business and everything. So he just showed me that, we are procuring bakery products from the market of this much value on a monthly basis. So we are doing everything in the food business. Why can't we start with our own bakery? I mean, for as a business owner, every expense count. Even an extra penny would count, and an extra penny going out is an extra penny not going into your profitability or your bottom line. So that was the vision he had, that why can't we have our own bakery when we are already doing our Indian sweets, we are doing the multi cuisine restaurant, we are doing banqueting, catering. Bakery is one thing that is not in the umbrella of Shri Annapurna till now. So why can't we do that? And he laid that challenge in front of me, and I took it heads on. I mean, especially not coming from the background of culinary, thing, and not knowing anything about bakery, because he bombarded me with this vision in the third year of me joining the business. So it was in 2013 beginning that he told me that okay, we should have our bakery. And by God's grace, I mean, things aligned and we started our journey of flour and beans in the year 2013, August. So in 8 months, we were able to, give that vision a reality. And I still remember how I used to talk to, different chefs or even the vendors who used to come into Shri Annapurna, and I used to eat their heads out ki, okay, I have to start my bakery. What are the raw materials? What are the challenges? What are the equipments? What are the things I need to have? And what set of people I should be needing to start with? And coming from a Bania family, I mean, we definitely can't incur a big cost. I mean, we would always want to go small and then make it big. That's how we've built our brand Shri Annapurna also, with a 20-seater capacity restaurant to now we combinedly can accommodate 180 people together. So we've always built ourselves up from starting small. So that's how the journey of flour and beans began. And also, the reason we named it flour and beans was that because we wanted to cater to the youth. I mean, so that was the first time when something out of Sri Annapurna umbrella came out as a separate brand, because bakery and then Sri Annapurna wouldn't have gone hand in hand. So we thought we'll come up with a new name. So that's how Flour and Beans was born. And yeah, I mean, starting with an eggless bakery again was a challenge, because back at in 2013 there were not many eggless bakeries. So I still remember when I used to serve to my customers that okay, this cake is made eggless. You're like, how can you achieve such softness without using egg? But then it took some convincing, and then one of the things that actually helped us also was that the backing of the brand like Sri Annapurna, because Sri Annapurna has always been a vegetarian joint. So when people understood that okay, flour and beans is coming from the house of Sri Annapurna, they felt that okay, yeah, they're a vegetarian brand, so they could not bring in eggs in their bakery. So that helped us a lot in positioning ourselves as a premium eggless bakery in the city.
When talking about bakeries and then the youth and then understanding the needs of the youth.
Right.
So, like, it's really true. And it's really, to hear your tale was really inspiring. And so, like, Banaras has always been about its people. It's about the taste. Taste in life, taste in people, and definitely taste in food as well. So, sir, how do you think that this generation is redefining its taste while staying true to its heritage?
I mean, the youth is very clear what they want. Uh, we do listen to them, and that is why we've started in our bakery with the cheesecakes. We were not doing cheesecakes for the longest time, and then again, making an eggless cheesecake was a challenge for us. So they pushed us. Oh, you're not making cheesecake? Like, yeah, we're not, but then we'll definitely try that. So the youth of the city is definitely keeping us on our toes to come up with something new, to come up with something that is more pocket friendly also, because then definitely the youth doesn't have that much of a disposable income. So that is the reason we came up with our food truck, Gunpowder, which is you will find parked at Ravindrapuri, because youth would feel shy to come and dine in a South Indian restaurant shelling out like 150 rupees for a South Indian meal. But then at the food truck, where the overhead cost definitely goes down, it's a more of a self-service restaurant. So the youth can come there and they can be at ease, because the youth, they don't want to be put in a frame. Like in order to go to a restaurant, you want to be dressed in a particular manner, because there are 10 people watching you. But then here at our food truck, you can be on your bike, order the food, just chill. You can be in your flip flop or be in your car or whatever it is. So that was one thing that we did towards the youth, that to cater to them and make Sri Annapurna more pocket friendly. With flour and beans, we've definitely been evolving with the taste buds of the youth, their requirement. That is where the cheesecakes or the mousses, or upon order we make croissants and everything. So yeah, I mean, they definitely helps us look back, okay, what are we doing and if we are moving in the right direction, because the youth is someone we are going to cater in the next 10 years. They're going to be our serious buyers, they're going to be our serious customers in the next 10 years. So we are definitely listening to them, keeping a close eye on them, and understanding the pattern of their order.
So, one more question will just cross my mind. Like, how do you think the taste of the people outside Banaras differs from the Banarasis? Like, what unique do we Banarasis have in our taste?
Banarsis, they are very particular. they
That's
they
true.
are very particular. They are. I mean, but with food also, people are with their self of with very lot of pride. They say, ki, okay, you are doing this, but have you tried this of our locality? And with everywhere, I mean, like go to Delhi, Chandni Chowk, people will say, ki, okay, you're having chola bhatura, but have you tried this particular guy's chola bhatura? So the same thing is with Banaras also. When we started with the sweets business, there is an area called in Banaras called the Pakka Mahal, the chalk side, where people actually are understood as the connoisseurs of the mithai industry, and the people living there are considered to be having the most refined taste. So it was one of the big challenges for us that, okay, how do we, take that challenge heads on and cater to their taste palette? And by God's grace, I mean, we've been able to do that. I mean, though the taste is very particular, but then we've found a right balance that not making it very traditional with 80% of the sweets, but 20% of the sweets, because you need to have your own brand identity as well. Those particular brands in the Pakka Mahal area will have their own brand identity, but Shri Annapurna has to position itself as its own brand identity. So how Shri Annapurna has been successful, and the reason for its success is that we've been able to pick cues from different shops, from different taste palettes, and try to create a very beautiful marriage of taste at Shri Annapurna. That's how we brought in South Indian cuisine also. We brought in Delhi ka chola bhatura, or Bombay ki pav bhaji, or the cheesecake of the New York, all under one roof at Shri Annapurna.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, talking about food, then we talk about people, and then about bananas, definitely. This question is going to be a confluence of all of them. And this is my favorite question, and that's going to be really interesting. So, sir, this question is, if I ask you to imagine Banaras as a dish, what would it actually be? And how would you like to plate it to the world?
Banaras as a dish and what it should be.
And that's going to be a really difficult one.
It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Banaras as a dish. I think we should leave that to the next podcast when I come up with that and talk more about it.
Okay. Okay. So, envisaging that.
I'll curate that and talk to my team in the kitchen.
I mean, it cannot be chole bhature.
No, no.
It cannot just be chaat. It cannot just be sweets.
Correct.
If not them, what else?
It has to be something unique,
Yeah, indeed.
which
It
has
cannot.
not been done. And I think your question has definitely, incited a fire in me to experiment with a new, offering. Because Banaras, actually, there's not a particular dish. There has been chaat, there has been sweet, there are different things. But as one dish, if you have to say that, okay, Banaras will be represented by this one dish, it has to be, thought of. So I think I'll leave that for now and then come back in the next podcast when you have me over here.
For sure, sir. So, to the audience, well, is it going to be the Malayo of Varanasi, or is it going to be papri chaat, or what else you just love about Banaras? Let's see what experiments sir will do. All right, moving ahead. So, we know Varanasi is transforming with smart city projects, rising tourism, and global attention. So, sir, as a young entrepreneur, what changes do you envision in the food and hospitality sector?
I mean, with the quick commerce thing, people are becoming very, lazy also. And they are ordering, at the tip of their fingertips. So that has definitely, played a lot with the experiential thing, because now people are focusing more on the convenience than the experience. That has definitely, and so we have also evolved because now we have become more active on the, the different aggregator platforms like the Swiggy or the Zomato. So with the, how the things have evolved in the last couple of years, we need to be more tech savvy. We need to be more data driven. Um, I'm really interested and curious how we can involve AI in this. The other day, I was just researching about this company that they have come up with their this name tags, which I can give to my counter people, and on the basis of their daily interaction, there will be a guy sitting in that AI company's office who will give me an analysis of how that particular my steward or the counter person behaved in the entire day, whether he followed the SOPs to the T or not. Like if you came into my sweet shop and if you ordered for samosa, it is always asked or expected out of my counter people that did you suggest them some sweets or did you suggest them some bakery product because you came in for samosa, but was there a suggestive selling made? So that is where that AI badge will come in. So I'm just exploring that, the domain where AI can be incorporated and, people performance can be measured any time of the day. So that is one thing that, technology is something that will drive any business and AI in the coming future. And secondly, convenience. I mean, the way things have shaped up in the last couple of years, convenience is something very paramount to us as well. Definitely, experience is there, but then we have to create a divide. That okay, for convenience, these are the things we can offer to you, and with convenience, you people want like swift, like in 10-15 minutes. So, what could be the offering of Shri Annapurna? And for experience, how Shri Annapurna can position itself. So these are the two domains, along with the tech, we are trying to explore, so that we stay relevant to the time, how quickly the taste palette, how quickly the mindset of the people are changing. So we need to keep Sri Annapurna very relevant to how things are shaping up right now.
Indeed, sir. AI, food, and Banaras. It's really going to be an engrossing voyage. Okay, finally, when talking about voyage, so what's your long term vision for Sri Annapurna? And how do you dream of Banaras tasting the future?
So, I mean, in the last team alignment meeting that we had, we've set out this vision very clearly that we want to make this brand a 150 crore company in the next 7 years. So that is one thing we are very, very focused towards, attaining that top line, and whatever needs to be done has to be done. And that is why the team alignment process is an ongoing thing in our company. We have to focus very aggressively in expanding the geographical footprint as well. So right now we recently opened one of our flagship store in the heart of the city. So we're planning to open two more before we can venture to the neighboring cities. So we are getting a lot of opportunities with franchisees in from the neighboring cities like the Azamgarh or Bhadoi, Mirzapur. So we need to set our SOPs to the T so that our franchise owners are as successful as we are in the city right now. So expanding the geographical footprint in the surrounding cities of Varanasi, increasing the number of stores in Varanasi, and also with the bakery division, we are planning to go national. We are already supplying to stores in Delhi. We are already supplying to 8 different, districts around Varanasi. Next month, we are starting supplies to Lucknow and Kanpur and Gorakhpur. So, bakery is one domain where we can actually attain a national footprint. So, attaining a national footprint in the bakery vertical, along with a regional footprint in the the fooding and the beverages department, is the vision of Sri Annapurna.
It was truly inspiring, sir,
Thank you
and
so
I
much.
really wish you all the best for your future voyages and
Thank you.
ventures.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this really engrossing
Thanks.
podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's our pleasure, sir. From the steam rising from a simmering kadhai to a spark in a returning sun's eyes, today's episode was not just about the future of Banaras, but it was about a tale of reinvention and not forgetting our own roots. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Umang,
you.
sir,
Thank you.
for sharing not just your journey, but your passion for preserving the flavor of tradition while adding your own taste of innovation. And to our listeners, the next time you bite into a sweet at Shri Annapurna, know that behind every taste is a tale of renovation, of invention, and definitely of heritage. So, until the next time, this is Vox Populi, the voices of people, signing off for today. So, till then, keep listening and keep learning. Thank you.